webinar ID is listed on the website as well. And the webinar ID is 921-7009-5836. Or you may access Zoom via phone by dialing 669-900-6833 and then putting in the webinar ID, which once again is 921-7009-5836. Please note, all comments or emails are limited to no more than 3 minutes. This includes voicemail messages and email comments submitted to be read into the record. The email shall be read for no more than 3 minutes, and this may mean that if you write a longer email, we may not be able to get that into the record within the 3-minute time frame. I'd also like to make sure that we remind everybody that when you're not speaking, to mute your microphone. Also, if you could please mute any of your personal devices, phones and what have you, so we don't have any feedback as we're going through the meeting. And at this point, I would like first, as we see, we have a commissioner on here that we're not used to seeing the visage of Jim Smith. And so I would like to welcome to our Planning Commission, our newest member. And with that, I would like to ask Cindy or Erica, who's going to do our roll call for us this evening?
I am tonight.
Okay, Cindy, if you would if you'd do so.
All right. When I state your name, would you please indicate verbally whether you're here? So Commissioner Harris. Are you muted, Steve?
Yes. I'm not muted now, and I am here.
Okay. Commissioner Holt.
Present.
Commissioner Hurst.
Hello. Yes, I'm here.
Vice Chair Lizarraga.
I'm here.
Commissioner Lopez.
Here.
Commissioner Smith.
Jim Smith is here.
And Chairperson Wells.
Present. Okay, Cindy, thank you. And I would like to now go through a couple of questions that I need to have all of our commissioners answer verbally. And again, since this is recorded, we can't just nod our heads or raise our hands. So please answer an affirmative. And if you could, when we take roll call, to please make sure that you identify yourself as well as your vote. Okay, so now I'd like to request that each member of the commissioner respond to these questions. Number one, Commissioner, can you hear me well? And so I'll start with Commissioner Harris.
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Holt.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Chris. Commissioner Hurst.
Yes.
Thank you, Valerie. Vice Chair Lizarraga.
Absolutely.
Excellent, thank you. Commissioner Lopez.
Loud and clear.
Okay, and Commissioner Smith.
I can hear you correctly. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you. Okay, next item, has each member of the commission either seen a copy of the agenda, or as you'll notice that the agenda will be up on your screen. So I need to make sure that, again, everybody has access to that. So I'm gonna go through our list once again. So Commissioner Harris, have you seen a copy of the agenda, or do you have access to one?
Yes.
Okay, same question for Commissioner Holt.
Yes, sir. Here on my iPad.
Okay, Chris, thank you. Commissioner Hurst,
Yes.
thank you. Vice Chair Lizarraga,
Yes, sir.
okay, Commissioner Lopez,
Yes.
and Commissioner Smith.
Yes.
Thank you. Cindy, have you posted the agenda at a location reasonably accessible to the public?
Yes.
Okay. And I would like to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'd like to have the record reflect that 7 members of the commission are present for this teleconference, and they've indicated that they're able to hear the proceedings. At this time, I'm requesting that other city officials introduce themselves and their position so that the record can reflect their attendance.
Thank you. Cindy Norris, Principal Planner.
Anna Canales, Assistant Planner.
Okay, Cindy, Anna, thank you. And also at this time, as always, I'd like to acknowledge Jay Camara, who makes all of this stuff work. and keeps us all kind of going and in line. So Jay, thank you. And again, I appreciate your work tonight to make sure that we're all up and running. Okay, as we go through the agenda, I would again request that before speaking, you clearly identify yourself each time. Let the individual speak who is speaking. Please do not interrupt. I would also ask, to the greatest extent possible, that everybody mute their phones or devices when not actively speaking, so we don't get unnecessary background noise. I would now like to advise all commission members and the commission secretary that any votes taken during this teleconference portion of this meeting must be taken by roll call. Okay, let's, if we can begin with the agenda, if I could get Commissioner Harris to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and if everybody could mute their microphone except for Commissioner Harris, I'd appreciate it. Steve?
Be glad to. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Steve, thank you. Okay, I will request whether any member of the commissioner staff wishes to make a statement and or has a request, and I'll go alphabetically with everybody for items that are not currently on, essentially on our agenda this evening. So this would be new business to the commission. So I'll start with Commissioner Harris. Steve, any comments not on our agenda this evening?
No, sir.
Okay. Commissioner Holt?
No, sir.
Okay. Commissioner Hurst?
Nope.
Okay. All right, thank you. Vice Chair Liz Raga? Marco?
I'm sorry.
There
No,
we go.
sir. I was
Okay.
on mute.
It's okay. You were following my instructions. You're doing good. Commissioner Lopez?
No, nothing.
Okay. Thank you, Fred. And Commissioner Smith. Jim?
I'd like to reserve my comments for item K, please.
Okay. And I have no comments to add. Cindy, do we have any staff comments?
Just a couple of notes, side notes here. It's my understanding the city council will be going live with in-person meeting at their August meeting. They will also be dark, the second meeting in August. And so the thought is that Planning Commission will go live at the first meeting in September. And I know there've been some questions about that.
Excellent, thank you. Any other items for staff comments other than that at this time?
No, not at this time.
Okay. And how about our long range calendar? Can you update us with that?
Yes, I'd be happy to. So we do anticipate at this point in time having a design review application in from Lennar Homes. This is for the project site that's located on the northeast corner of East Street and Sports Park Drive. They're already grading. That project was actually approved in 2015. So they're coming in, Lennar Homes picked it up recently, and they'll be coming in with the architectural design review. So like I said, we hope that we'll make it on the July 15th agenda. Then on the August 5th agenda, we do, we'll have the housing element as a recommendation action item for the Planning Commission. You know, we did hold our community workshop on June 2nd. The document is actually open for public review at this time. We will be meeting with the State Department of Housing and Community Development tomorrow, actually, to hear their comments on our draft. And hopefully we'll be able to make that August 5th deadline. With regard to other projects, it is possibly September, I'm thinking early September, for possible cannabis ordinance amendments to come forward to the Planning Commission. We have one subcommittee meeting coming up next week, a final subcommittee meeting to kind of finalize recommendations. So with that concludes my remarks on the long range calendar. If you have any questions.
So let me go through and we'll ask alphabetically on Cindy's statement. Commissioner Harris, any questions?
None.
Okay. Commissioner Holt?
None, sir.
Commissioner Hurst?
Nope.
Okay, thank you. Vice Chair Lizarraga?
None, sir.
Okay. Commissioner Lopez?
None.
Okay, thank you, Fred. Commissioner Smith?
It's my understanding then that we have another meeting in July on, I believe, the 15th, so that will also be via Zoom.
Yes, it
Yeah.
will.
Thank you. And I'm not sure about August, because normally the people go on hiatus in August. So there's
So
meeting scheduled then?
there are meetings scheduled in August. The Planning Commission has actually never taken a break in
Excellent.
specifically.
Great.
Council is in fact taking a break though for one meeting.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Jim, you just don't realize what you've signed up for, just so you know. But I also would like to add to Cindy's comments my appreciation to Commissioner Holt, who does a lot of this early architectural work as we go through these programs so that it really speeds up the process for development within the city of Woodland. And so again, Chris, thank you for your work that you do on behalf of the commission and the city of Woodland for that. With that, let's go to subcommittee reports. Do we have any subcommittee reports? I'll go to, so Steve, for the cannabis subcommittee, is it you or Valerie that is reporting on that?
Well, we haven't had one since the last report, and we have one next week. So
Okay.
in our next planning commission meeting, Valerie or I will give you an update.
Okay, wonderful, thank you. And Commissioner Holt, any subcommittee report on architectural or other?
Not for this meeting. I do anticipate getting Prudler Lennar Homes comments back very quickly, though, rapidly, because I know that we want to get that on the 15th meeting, so I need to turn those around. Good,
Chris, thank you. Okay, item G, Cindy, communications from the public, including that, and I would put that emails as we also received early today.
I did notice that Dorothy Rosenberg is in attendance and she may wish to make comments. We have an email from her. I noticed that we also have another attendee, and I'm not sure if this Jera Zavala, and whether she would like to make a comment. Dorothy, would you like me to read your comments or would you like to speak? I guess you can raise your hand if you would like to speak. I don't see that, so I will go ahead and read comments.
Good, thank you.
Okay. Dear members of the Planning Commission, thank you for your service to the community. I'm sending you this PDF record of an online petition that I will be sending to the City of Woodland Planning Department in response to the public comment period for the proposed Research and Technology Park. The executive summary of the attachment is that I'd like the City of Woodland to adopt higher than baseline sustainability goals for this project. If I had a wish, I'd wish that the entire development will follow the Living Building Challenge guidelines. Guidelines for the entire site and for every building erected there. This is a long shot, so I'm asking for us to pursue low-hanging fruit, measures that have a high impact, low cost, short payback. I'd like all of the new commercial and industrial buildings to offset their energy use with solar panels. I'd also like the development as a whole to look at a shared ground source heat pump system for heating and cooling. This has been done on other commercial projects to great effect. I'll stand up and present this petition during the public comment part of the meeting tonight. Thank you very much for your time. Sincerely, D. Rosenberg.
Okay, Cindy, thank you. Jay, do we have anybody else that is raising their hand or would like to speak during the public comment for items that are not currently on our agenda?
Not at this time, and we have no other emails or voicemails that I have seen.
Okay. Okay, Cindy, thank you for that. And Mrs. Rosenberg, thank you very much for your comments. I've responded to Dee personally, and I think this is something that we'll work with the staff to bring back to a meeting for the Planning Commission in the future. Okay, so we'll close the public comment section for comments not on our agenda. And now we'll open item I, which is a public hearing. First, we're going to go through a process where staff will provide a presentation. We'll invite, then we'll come back to the Planning Commission for any specific questions of staff. And then we'll open it to the public for comment and any questions to the applicant. So with that, Cindy, who's doing our presentation for this evening? You or Anna?
Here, Anna Canales will be doing that presentation tonight.
Excellent. Anna, it's you got the ball.
All right. Good evening, Planning Commissioners and Chair. 1 second.
Sometimes it takes a minute to get the screen
Yeah.
share.
Hold on 1 second.
It's up. I see it.
Is it up?
It is.
Okay.
Can others see this?
I'm not sure that it's shared yet. I don't see it.
Okay. Then, let's see. I will. Okay.
There we go.
All right. All right. Good evening, Commissioners and Chair. Anna Canales, Assistant Planner. The item before you this evening includes a request by applicant J.D. Morgan Revocable Trust for tasting room land use located at applicant's property at 630 Lincoln Avenue, located in District C of the Downtown Specific Plan. The request requires an amendment to the Downtown Specific Plan to allow tasting rooms in District C. They're not currently allowed. Applicant will first facilitate the request to amend the Downtown Specific Plan, and upon Planning Commission and City Council approval of the requested amendments, staff will act on a subsequent application for the property in conformance to the new requirements. The Downtown Specific Plan was originally adopted in 1993 and updated on March 18, 2003, and incorporates the central core of Woodland's downtown, bounded approximately by Cleveland Street on the west, North Street on the north, East Street on the east, and Lincoln Avenue on the south, and extending down to Pendergast Street. The specific plan area covers 139 acres. The plan is broken down into 5 districts, A through E, representing different sub-areas of downtown. District C serves as a transition between downtown and adjacent residential uses. The transition district is dominated by office uses, converted residential structures, residential, some light industrial, and institutional uses. Applicant J.D. Morgan Revocable Trust submitted the project application requesting an amendment to Downtown Specific Plan to allow a tasting room business within Specific Plan District C, which represents the transition portion of the Downtown Specific Plan. The district currently does allow restaurants serving beer and wine requiring a Type 41 alcohol beverage control license if they meet specific outline performance standards, but does not currently allow specialty retail and/or tasting rooms. Currently, only District A allows wine tasting. Retail stores and shops are permitted in all districts except District C. In District A, wine tasting is currently a conditionally allowed use with review required through a conditional use permit process, including public noticing and public hearing before the City Planning Commission. Districts B, C, D, E do not presently permit wine tasting. Restaurants that serve beer and wine are currently allowed in all districts of the Downtown Specific Plan. The use is conditionally allowed in District C if all performance standards are met. Upon assessment of existing and historic uses in District C, staff found that a specialty retail land use, including the sales of artisan food and beverages, could complement other uses found in this district. Staff recommend that specialty retail be considered as a conditionally allowed use with zoning administrator permit in District C, which will require a staff level public hearing and allow conditions of approval to be placed on the use as needed to address any potential impacts to potentially sensitive adjacent uses. For instance, a zoning administrator permit would allow for conditions on outdoor uses or amplified music and hours of operation as appropriate. In all other districts, generally located away from residential and sensitive uses, specialty retail is recommended as a permitted use. Consistent with the intent of the downtown specific plan to enhance the responsiveness of the city to new desired uses while still protecting the future of the downtown and potential sensitive land uses, staff recommend that specific performance standards for tasting rooms be incorporated into the downtown specific plan. Some of the key performance standards are listed here. We have outdoor dining and seating shall be conducted as an accessory use to an eating and drinking establishment that is located in the same parcel, a contiguous adjacent parcel, or a public right-of-way immediately adjacent to the tenant space. Hours of operation of the outdoor dining and seating shall be limited to hours of operation of the associated restaurant, other eating and drinking establishments, or commercial use. Hours of operation are limited to the hours of 8 a.m. and 10 p.m. If open later than 10 p.m., a zoning administrator permit would be required. We have parking shall be provided according to the required ratio in chapter 17.116 of the City Woodland Municipal Code. And we ask that it will be accessory to retail sales facility. Any outdoor events would be subject to special event permits. Music would be subject to city noise ordinance requirements. Staff have used the definitions identified here to facilitate the evaluation process. We've got wine bar identified as a business with a primary function of selling wine for consumption on site, tasting room, a retail sales facility where customers may taste and purchase beverage and food products grown and or processed on site. Products offered for tasting and sale may include wine, beer, olive oil, cheese, and or other food and beverage products. We've got specialty retail, a retail sales facility with a primary function of selling goods made in a traditional or non-mechanized way, including artisan food and beverages. And general retail, we identified as a sales facility with a primary function of sale of general goods for use or consumption. We've noted that the proposed use would not fall under the category of a wine bar, which would continue to fall under bars. From an intensity standpoint, specialty retail is considered less impactful than other uses already permitted in the district. Specialty retail is considered distinct from general retail, and staff find that it would be less impactful than a general retail use. And from an intensity standpoint, specialty retail is less impactful than other uses already permitted in the district. Oh, sorry. Next. The project was noticed. Notices were prepared by city staff and 2 methods of public notice were used. A 1/4 page legal notice was published in the Woodland Daily Democrat 10 days prior to the public hearing. Notices were further mailed to all property owners within a 300-foot radius of 630 Lincoln Avenue. The project was further routed for review to city departments, including the City Economic Development Division and City Police Department, and staff are in support of the proposed use and location. Staff recommends that Planning Commission conduct the public hearing and adopt resolution number PC 21-02 recommending City Council approval of a resolution amending Table 8.1 Land Use Matrix and Section 8.5 Performance Standards of the Downtown Specific Plan with tasting rooms as an accessory to specialty retail. With that, I'll conclude my presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. The applicant, I believe, is present as well.
Anna, thank you very much. Nice presentation. At this time, what I want to do is bring this back to the commission, and we'll go through alphabetically and see if there's any questions for Anna on this or to the, so let's go through and just do it for staff. And then if there's additional questions, I'll ask my commissioners to address the applicant directly. With that, Commissioner Harris, any questions for staff? Steve, you're muted.
I have no questions of the staff.
Thank you, Steve. Commissioner Holt?
Yes, sir. Thank you for recognizing me. I do have a few questions for Anna. And it seems pretty clear from the report, but I just want to be extra clear about it. This change in the zoning ordinance doesn't, or in the downtown specific plan, doesn't include anything regarding cannabis sales or as a specialty retail or anything. That will come later under a separate zoning ordinance amendment. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And I think that'll cover it. That's everything. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. And Chris, we'll come back for comment section if we have any other comments. Commissioner Hurst?
Nope, I don't have any comments.
Okay. Valerie, thank you. Vice Chair Lizraga?
No comments, Chairman
Okay.
Wells.
Thank you. Commissioner Lopez?
Nothing for staff.
Okay. Fred, thank you. And Commissioner Smith, any questions of staff?
Yes, I have a couple of questions. Anna said that the notifications went out. Did you receive verification that they received the notifications by the surrounding businesses and or property owners?
If I might respond, the only notification that we receive in terms of verification is that if we receive a returned envelope, if we don't receive a returned envelope, we assume that it was received.
And the reason I asked that question is that because of my background, I like to verify things. And I spoke with Wayne Spriggs over at the Christian Missionary Alliance 2 weeks ago, and he had not received anything, but he indicated, and I thought it was a good statement actually, said because of COVID, a number of individuals were not in the office, and he checked the mail on regular basis and hadn't seen anything. I did contact St. Luke's Church, but nobody responded to me, and I went next door to the immediate south of the structure, and that home was either being remodeled or abandoned. It was hard to tell, and I couldn't make any contact there, and I doubted very much that somebody from Pac Bell or whatever is going to recall, but the other place down the road was the Second Baptist Church. And obviously because of the wine tasting and such, that was my concern. Did these churches have adequate notice, and were they able to make comment and such like that? It's just an observation just to make sure with verification.
Sure.
The other question I had, in the statement, we're talking about sell locally sourced and produced wines, which is fine. Operates accessory use for proposed retail sales of wine, specialty foods, and retail sales. Retail sales seemed awfully vague to me. As the way Anna was explaining it, it sounded obviously like these are specialty handmade products, that sort of thing. I wasn't sure where that falls. Are we talking about would they sell artwork, for example, down the line, or custom made t-shirts? I'm not clear on that. I just want a bit of explanation if you could.
Would you like me to answer that?
No, right now, this is questions specifically to staff. So, so Anna or Cindy, do you want to take a stab at that question about the retail item for Jim?
Sure, I'll take a stab and then Anna can fill in if there's something I've missed. So the intent, yes, was to frame it so it's not the broader retail which is really an open book. The idea was to really keep it kind of framed in a very narrow way, and really part of it was is tied to the requirements of ABC, and that they have certain requirements that if an individual grower is selling their own product, it needs a certain type of alcohol license. And so that was sort of part of what made us think about this, and as well as sort of just framing it. So yes, I think you could have specialty, artisan level sales, I think would be sort of a broader interpretation of this specialty retail. So it could include some art, it could include oil, it could include other agricultural products, wine, cheese, jewelry. I think it could be on a small level like that, would be how I would assume that would go forward. We certainly can clarify further if that would help, if that's the intent, is the desire to maybe see more clarification on what specialty retail is, or
Well, that was my thought, Cindy, was just to verify it. I didn't want somebody coming back in the future and saying it was too vague. And, I have no issue with this, but I'd like specificity if possible. But it's not, it's just my observation at this point.
Okay, and one of the things I'd like to clarify for everybody is that we're not approving any specific business operation this evening. We're specifically approving a zoning component of it, and there will be that second kind of bite at the apple when we really look at kind of that deeper level for the specific business. So I think that's and Jim kind of addressing the issues, and I've had a couple people that have talked to me about receiving the letter, so I know that it did go out, and some people have talked to me about it. But I think that the overall kind of the overriding thing of this is that when we come back and really look at the details of the operation and the hours and the noise and all those things, will come back to us at a later date.
Thank you very much, Chairman Wells. Thank you, Cindy.
Okay. With that, let me ask, does any member of the commission have any specific questions of the applicant? And again, I'll start at the top and just run my way down, so please respond verbally. Commissioner Harris?
Chairman Wells, I'm not sure, I think we maybe want to open the public.
Okay, you want to open public hearing on that part first? Okay, so Steve, you can go ahead and stay muted. We don't need to hear from you now.
I took care of that.
Okay, so at this point, we'll open the public hearing and ask staff if we have any public comments that have been received by either voicemail, email, or live call-in. Cindy or Jay on that one?
And I'd also,
do not see any hands raised at this moment.
Okay, Jay,
I'd like to invite the applicant also, if they would like to speak.
Okay, we'll come to that in just a second. Do we have any comments? So nothing, Jay, from the public. You don't see anybody raising their hand?
No, I do not.
Okay, and Cindy, we don't have any emails or anything from the public one way or the other? Cindy?
No.
Okay. Okay, thank you. There we go. Okay, and at this time, would the applicant like to make a statement on behalf of the application?
Sure. I just want everyone to know, and I appreciate this opportunity to speak for you, and I appreciate you even considering this, but the whole idea of what we're trying to accomplish is to bring something to Woodland, and it's very important to me personally and us as a team that we recognize the bounty of Yolo County. And everything that will be sold here when we talk about Pardon? Oh, okay. Will be as much as possible sourced when we talk about the retail, as much as possible, including artwork, even the t-shirts will be sourced locally. We're not going to buy a bunch of things from China and bring them in. It's very important to me that it's very authentic. We're trying to create a very authentic, honest experience for the residents of Yolo County and those that want to visit Yolo County, and especially in the city of Woodland. I was born and raised here. Kelly, she's my ex-wife now, still a good friend, and I opened Maria's Cantina because we wanted to bring something special to Woodland and also Morgan's on Main and Morgan's Mill. I was born and raised here, and it's very important to me that I contribute back to the community for what I've been given, because all my opportunities arose from here. I went to work for a local drilling company when I was 16 years old. I'm 59 years old now, and I still own that same company, and it drills throughout the western states. It all started right here in 1949 by Ben Barrow Company in Woodland, California. And that opportunity was given to me. And so I'm at a stage in my life now that I get to give back. And there's many ways to give, obviously, right? But for me, it's a creative outlet to really make experiences for people. When people come to this wine tasting room, they're going to be in a whole different world, in a sense, experiencing Yolo County in the city of Woodland. Our farm is 146 acres. It's 5 minutes out of town. And we grow 75 acres of grapes, 34 acres of olives, and 5 acres of figs. We plan on bringing as much of that product we can into the tasting room so people can just really get a feel for what Yolo County has to offer. This is a work of passion. It's not a work of, I want it to be profitable, because only profitable entities are sustainable, but it's not about the profitability, it's about creating something special. And I promise you that everything we do with this will be done at the utmost quality and just service and really creating something that people want to be a part of. It's dear to my heart. This building was built in 1958 as a Mormon tabernacle, believe it or not. I bought it from the city of Woodland in 2009. I remodeled it, turned it into my company headquarters, and now it's transitioned to somewhat of a place that doesn't have a real function now, because I don't have a headquarters any longer. And so this is seemingly a really great use for it. It's a beautiful building inside and out. We're going to take that beauty and add to it and really create something special. And I hope you give us your approval to move forward on this, because we're pretty excited about it. And you have my word, it's going to be done to the utmost to the benefit of the community. So thank you for letting me comment.
Mr. Morgan, thank you for your comment. And for anybody who hasn't been out to his location, his ranch farm, it's beautiful. And Mr. Morgan, if you would introduce the members of your team there to the committee as well.
This is Sergio. Sergio is the farm manager. Sergio and I have worked together since 2010. We got to know each other because our sons played football together, and he really runs the day-to-day farm. This is Lauren Tostani. Lauren does all of our marketing, along with everything else that no one else wants to do predominantly. And she's actually pregnant with my grandson and is soon to be married to my son. Thank goodness. This is Monty. Monty is from North Natomas. He just joined our team as the general manager. And so he will be running the business part of the farm and the tasting room.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you for that. And thank you for your application and all your hard work on what you've done with this. Okay. With that, I'm going to ask if any of the commission members have any specific questions of Mr. Morgan or his team. Again, starting from the top, Commissioner Harris.
Well, we've been at this a while with different projects, and we're always concerned, how things are going to go, and you get the song and dance, and you act with the material you have available to you. And this is quite a package, having a local boy done good, wanting to do better for a city. So I think we have the potential of having a wonderful project. And I'm really excited about it. I think the idea is wonderful. I think Woodland is in definite need of this service. So I'm pretty excited about it. It looks like a great project. And I'd like to thank Mr. Morgan and his team for bringing this forward.
Steve, thank you. Commissioner Holt.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't have any questions for Mr. Morgan and his team, but I would go ahead and make some comments if that's acceptable to the chair.
Go ahead.
I'll keep them brief.
Yep.
I agree with what Commissioner Harris has said. I, long have thought that wine tasting is a great opportunity in our downtown Woodland. There's a lot of people that love wine and will travel around and find little cities to do wine tasting. And I think one of our neighbor cities has done a great job. Winters has done a great job of bringing that wine and tasting economy downtown. I think this is a really smart idea for our city. And I do know the building that the applicant, that Mr. Morgan, is sitting in. It's a beautiful building. I don't think they're going to have to do much to bring it up to a great top tier wine tasting facility. And I look forward to going in and trying some of his wines and other products from the farm. I also think, our downtown has a lot to owe Mr. Morgan and the city for going through this effort, because I see a lot more tasting rooms coming downtown to some of our little specialty spaces. I think it can be a really good thing for us. So with that, I'll conclude those comments.
Great, Chris, thank you. Vice Chair Lizarraga, oh no, actually, I'm sorry. Commissioner Hurst, Valerie?
I don't have any comments, so no problem. Next.
Thank you. Sorry, I almost skipped over that one, my bad. Vice Chair Lizarraga.
I will just make a comment if it's okay, Chairman Wells.
Absolutely.
My comment is, Mr. Morgan, I really like to thank you. Commissioner Holt mentioned something about Winters. And every time I go to Winters, I wonder, when are we going to have one in Woodland? So thank you, Mr. Morgan, for bringing it to Woodland. I'm excited about the project. I'm in total support of it. And I think and we truly believe that it's going to be great for our city and downtown development.
Marco, thank you. Commissioner Lopez.
No, just concurring with the rest of my planning commissioners that, it sounds like a good idea. As long as we can pull it off and make everybody happy. It sounds like it would be a nice little draw to Woodland.
Okay.
Local flavor.
Good. Commissioner Smith.
I have no comments regarding this proposal. I agree with the other commissioners. This is an extraordinary use of an existing structure which has already been upgraded several times to make it truly a community asset. I think this is the next stage of its evolution, if you will. I very much support this proposal. I do have subsidiary questions, if you will, about the expansion of this, the zoning amendments into the other areas. And I don't know if we want to deal with that or if I should raise those at this time or wait till later.
I think you can probably address those to the staff, Jim, and then we can those at a separate hearing, because otherwise
that's fine.
Yeah, we'll just get a little outside our boundaries.
I understand. Thank you,
Jim. Thank you. And Mr. Morgan, I would like to, if it's amenable to you, I would like to offer to any of our commission members who haven't been out to the windmill farms into your property, if you would be comfortable with them contacting you directly and maybe getting the opportunity to go out and tour your beautiful site there, if that would be something that you would feel comfortable offering to the commissioners whenever it's convenient for them.
I would love it. Absolutely. I would really enjoy it. So you're welcome.
Great. Okay. So so anybody who, if you haven't been out there, absolutely go out and it just it's an absolute jewel that it's hard to believe that it's so close to us and it's not on the public radar so much. So really a beautiful site. And again, like Mr. Morgan said, it's the guy that runs the farm that really does all the hard work there, I think. So anyway, with that, at this point, I will, if we don't have any other public comments, Cindy or Jay?
I do not see any hands raised.
Okay. Seeing that we have none, I am going to go ahead and close the public hearing. And I would like to ask if we have a commissioner that would like to make a motion to entertain this amendment to the specific plan.
To make that motion.
If I may, go ahead and may.
Hold on a second here. I got a couple different voices. So I hear Marco.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I will go ahead and make, if it's okay, I will go ahead and make the motion.
Okay, if you'll read the motion, Marco.
Let me see if I say it correctly. Okay, I make a motion that we adopt resolution number PC 21-02, recommending city council approve of the attached resolution amending the downtown specific plan to allow specialty retail and tasting rooms as an accessory use in all districts of the downtown specific plan.
Okay.
I'll second that, Commissioner Lopez.
Okay, so we have a motion and we have a second. Marco, would you reread the motion just because we're on Zoom?
Okay, let me do it. The motion was to adopt resolution number PC 21-02, recommending city council approval of the attached resolution amending the downtown specific plan to allow specialty retail and tasting rooms as an accessory use in all districts of the downtown specific plan.
Okay, so we have a motion by Vice Chair Lizarraga. We have a second by Commissioner Lopez. Now I'd like to call for the vote, starting with Commissioner Harris.
Yes.
Okay, we have a yes for Commissioner Harris. Commissioner Holt?
Aye.
Okay, thank you, Chris. Commissioner Hurst?
Aye.
Thank you, Valerie. Vice Chair Lizarraga?
Aye.
Thank you. Commissioner Lopez?
Yes.
And Commissioner Smith?
Aye.
Jim, thank you. And I vote aye as well. The motion passes unanimously. And I would like to thank everyone for that. So that item is done for this evening. Do we have any business items, Cindy, under item J?
We do not.
Okay, Cindy, thank you. And now I'd like to come back and just wrap up with any comments or discussion from our commission members that are items that haven't been addressed tonight, or we want to just finish up with comments. So I'll start with Steve, Commissioner Harris.
No comments.
Okay, Steve, thank you. Commissioner Holt?
None for me, Chair. Thank you, sir.
Great, thank you. Commissioner Hurst?
None for me.
Okay, thank you, Valerie. Vice Chair Lizarraga?
None from me, Chairman Wells.
Okay. Commissioner Lopez?
No comments.
Okay. Commissioner Smith?
Chairman Wells, I had 4 comments not related to anything on tonight's agenda. I wasn't sure in terms of protocol if I should just provide those at this point, or if I should just copy those out and forward those to you and Cindy.
I mean, if they're not of burning interest, why don't we send them out and see if staff can answer them, and if not, we'll bring them up as an item in our next meeting.
Yeah, they're recommendations only for the commission and for staff on future agenda items.
Let's do that via email, and we'll share it with everybody and kind of go from there.
No problem. I don't want to take commission's time on this.
Okay, good. And I would just, my comment is I'd just like to thank both staff and Anna. Very nice presentation tonight. Appreciate all your hard work. For Mr. Morgan and your team, thank you for what you've done in the past for the city of Woodland. We appreciate what you're doing with this project, and we look forward to seeing more details as it comes before us again. And I appreciate also, I want to comment, we've been getting some much more involved emails and information from the public. So I just really appreciate the public and the detail that you're sending us about both current projects and ideas about how the city of Woodland can be better. So we really, really appreciate your input and ask you to continue doing that. And with that, I would like to see if maybe we have somebody who would like to make a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, so that is from
I'll second that motion.
Raga,
Lopez.
seconded by Commissioner Lopez. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Let's wrap it up. It's a good night. Thank you, everybody. Mr. Morgan and your team, thank you. Guys,
Thank you,
again.
Mr. Morgan.
Welcome, Mr. Smith. Glad to see you again.
Jim Smith, welcome.
Yep.
Thank you very much, all. Appreciate it.
Okay.